What's up, guys? Welcome back. So as you guys seen on the last clip, I was trying to install a radio into the car to get all the sounds done and everything pretty much wired in. I did run into some issues. Thank God for the homie coming down. He was originally going to come down yesterday, or he was coming down yesterday originally to come do my last fuel pump harness relay setup. So I thought each one would have its own relay setup, and that way we would just have that protection. One for the lift and one for the feed. So all of that is taken care of. That is fully wired up now. So both pumps both have their own relay setup. This is the way it is now. I just got to do a little bit of either a bracket or something right here to hold it down, and then that way it's not so flimsy. But everything is tied back here. Relays are back here, power is back here as it was previously. So now we have two relay setups back there, and all that is pretty much taken care of. I didn't record any of it just because honestly you guys already seen it. You guys already probably seen it on other channels, and I didn't want to bore you guys with that. So radio is pretty much done, and also the fuel pump relays are done, all complete. So I still have to work on the front speakers. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to cut the door panels to fit the speakers, and what I'm gonna end up using are these DS18s. I also got some tweeters, but those are way too big, so I gotta figure out where I can put those at, and that way they will stay out of sight. I'm probably thinking about on the kick panel or something like that, so that we can have a little bit more highs, right? But radio is fully wired up and fully functioning. We did have an issue with that, but thank God to the homie that was here yesterday. He ended up coming down and figuring it out. We had the constant power, the one that maintains the memory, that wouldn't grab signal, so it wouldn't power on the radio whatsoever. So we do have full power now, as you guys can see, and it is wired up and fully functioning. Again, we just need to put front speakers on to the front of the car. So you'll hear it right now turn on. So everything is powered up to my car, or to my phone right now, because it's Bluetooth, full touch screen, you know, so pretty dope, pretty dope. So let's go ahead and turn it off so I don't get copyrighted. And since I was at it, I ended up swapping over the ignition, because I think I already explained it before. I kind of wanted everything to open on one key, so I still have the door locks to put on and also the trunk locks, so that way all that will manage with one key instead of having two different keys and so on and so forth. And honestly, this ignition is butter compared to the old ignition. I did run into another issue to where I need to swap over these switches here. This one is the one I got from the homie also, Camila EJ, and unfortunately I need the one for the windshield wiper. That one is actually messed up, so hopefully we can get that here soon on the next day, or even today, because I think I ordered it from Amazon yesterday. They said it was the next day delivery. So pretty much that's what's been done with it, and I'm still waiting for a few parts that should be arriving today so we can start on the whole heater setup. But meanwhile we wait for that, I ended up running to Home Depot because there was a deal that I just could not pass up, and this was actually on clearance for like $3.59, and it was too good of a deal because one of these tools alone is 300 bucks. So I figured might as well grab it. It came with the battery, comes with the charger, it comes with pretty much everything, and it also comes with another tool. So for $3.59, plus I got a discount because there was a guy there that actually watches the channel. Sorry bro, I didn't get your name. We were talking, we were chopping it up for a little bit, and just know bro, if you're watching this video, I appreciate you, and hit me up on Instagram bro. I owe you lunch or something bro for helping me out. But pretty much bro, as you guys can see, this is the new toolkit that we end up getting. I got a 3/8 impact, and I also got a grinder that I've been wanting. I've been wanting both of these, and this was just too good of a deal to pass up for 300 bucks. Literally, I got it for $290 out the door. So not too shabby. I'm extremely happy, and again, huge shout out to the homie for giving me his discount, helping me out, and you know, giving me the hookup to get it for $290. Because again, 300 bucks, you can't beat a full grinder and a 3/8 impact, the M18 one, and it comes with two batteries and the charger and the case for itself. So aside from that, I went to AutoZone, grabbed some clamps because I am waiting for the heater hoses to arrive today, so we can start modifying all that and hopefully get it all locked into place, fill it up with coolant, and start bleeding the system. I'm still waiting for the ECU to arrive from Nomis, which should arrive by the end of this week. That way he can tap in and see if we can create a base map. And honestly man, just a few more steps and we are looking promising to get this car on the dyno. We also managed to get some other parts in, so let me go ahead and show you that real quick. So as you guys know, I've been waiting for some sensors to arrive. Sorry, I'm doing a lot of talking, but finally got my gauges, my oil pressure gauge and my AFR. That's all here. These are the locks that from the homie. Again, I gotta swap all that in, but again, you know, we are making a little bit of strides. My homie Jose is supposed to be coming down, the one that helped me tow the cars to the show. He towed my car to the show and I towed my brother's to the show. He's gonna come down and give me a hand so we can get this car dyno ready, so we can actually make the appointment to get it locked in and get it fully on the dyno. So I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy my lunch, and hopefully we can get started on the cooling system or on the heater system and get all that buttoned up, and we can start routing all of the gauges where they're gonna go, because I'm still waiting for a gauge pod to show up. So yeah, let's just go ahead and maintain progress, guys. All right, guys, so unfortunately we are having some issues with this camera and the memory card once again. I'm not sure what's going on with it, or what the deal is going on with it. I was recording some of the stuff that I was doing, and unfortunately it did not show in the memory card. It does not show anything that the file is there. It's lost. It shows basically the last thing that I recorded was opening up the goddamn impact and the grinder. That is basically about it. So I've been in here working, and a good homie of mine, Jose, came down because I was having issues with it. After I had spoke with Dana, he's like, you can do it. My AFR and my oil gauge did not come with any instructions on it whatsoever. They are brand new, they are not used. There was just no instructions on how to wire all that stuff up. I'm not good with wiring. So honestly, I was trying to get everything ran into it, and then Jose from Instagram, a homie of ours, ended up hitting me up and asking if I needed help with anything. And my brother had told me at one point in time he was good with wiring, so I said, F it, you know what, let's just go ahead and get it installed as much as possible. Right now we are actually waiting on Wireworks to hit me back up, because he is the maker of the conversion harness and also the engine harness of this car. Originally we were going with an AEM ECU, so everything was wired in for an ECU from AEM, which is what I have over here. So we need to wire up two other wires, both brown and both white. There's one for each set, for the oil gauge and also for the AFR, and that is to data log. So I'm waiting for him to hit me back up to see where those go into. We did wire in the gauges so that everything starts, everything turns on. We do have the oil pressure sensor locked in already, so that's inside. So let me go ahead and show you guys instead of just talking, and then that way we can just go ahead and continue moving forward and getting the headliner buttoned up, and also seeing if we can install a quick release setup and also the fuel sending level unit. That has to get wired in so that it'll show that we have fuel in the gauge. I just want to make sure that this car is 100% ready, so that when we go to the dyno, we can dyno this car without any issues. So let's go ahead and show you guys what I've gotten done so far. Alright guys, so pretty much as I stated, AFR and oil gauge is all wired up. Everything is routed inside correctly. We had an issue to where the oil sensor was, or the plug was very tight, so I had to reroute it to get enough room in there so that way it wouldn't have so much tension on it. So now everything is connected. The only thing we need to do to it is actually weld on the O2 bung, which the O2 here go connect it into it. So I need to bring down the downpipe so that I can tap it or drill it out, weld the bung on, and that way we can secure the O2 sensor and route that into its location. The other thing we need to do is actually wait for Wireworks to hit me back up, because I messaged them to see where we need to send these two, so that way we can data log the oil pressure and also the AFR. It's not necessarily 100% needed. It's a good parameter to have, to where the tuner, if he ever needs to remote in and check things, he can actually visually see it on his computer and see how the AFR is and see how the oil pressure is. That way it's data logging, and he can have eyes on it on his computer instead of actually FaceTiming to see the gauges in person. Because later on, Simon is going to be tapping in the next couple of days, so that way we can get everything, all the parameters set for the K Pro that I did order from him, and I'll show you guys that here, because we did receive the package.
What we do here is go back.
Alrighty guys, so wiring for the aftermarket sunroof is all in. Pretty much ready for the guy for the headliner to come in, do what he needs to do, because he is going to be doing this headliner, and he's also going to be doing the sunshade visors down in here. So pretty much everything is in there. The one thing I need to do to it, which is not necessarily needed right now, just because I needed to get everything routed so that way the guy, when the guy comes, he has no issues of basically making the headliner, because all he's really going to be using is the edging of the original one to go around, and then he just needs to cut out the center and then pretty much use the fabric to adhere it, or I guess secure it to the aftermarket sunroof and make it flow, stretch it out, and basically make sure that everything is okay and it doesn't have no wrinkles or any of that stuff. So hopefully all that will go as planned, and then we won't have any issues, because I just really want to try to make moves coming forward. And again guys, I apologize that not a lot of stuff was recorded, such as, or I mean it was recorded but it wasn't able to capture it, you know, AFR, oil pressure, all that is wired in. So let me go ahead and put power to the battery so I can show you guys that it all works. All right guys, so I just turned on the power, and now you guys can see pretty much everything will work. You can see the door chime works also, so when it wants to, I guess you can say. But there you guys go. So oil pressure is there. I'm not cranking it yet. Still, it's just gonna say heat because the O2 sensor is not connected. Radial fully works. One thing we still got to do after is get the fuel level sending unit all wired in. That'll be on the next video. But everything is fully functioning. Everything is here. So that's one thing I really wanted. Again, if I can get a hold of Wireworks and him tell me where I need to wire in those brown wire and the white wire for data logging, then pretty much that will knock out everything and have all that ready. So let's go ahead and turn it all off now. Take a key, and let's go ahead and open up the new package that we did, or I was waiting for, from Nomis, and I'll show you guys what we got. So yeah, let's go ahead and open it up. Alrighty guys, so pretty much guys, we're gonna wrap it up for today's video. But before we end today's video, I want to show you guys what was in the box. I already opened it up, got ahead of myself, and first and foremost, I want to give a huge shout out to the homie Simon from Nomis Industries, Dana's homie, now my homie. But huge shout out to Nomis for the deal on the brand new ECU. It's been checked over, it's been made sure that everything was good on it, no issues, and it does have the K Pro V4 fully installed on it. This is a brand new unit, it is not used. I did not expect to get a ECU cover that he threw in, along with air freshener stickers and also a Nobori flag, because as you guys see in the background, I do have Nobori flags up there, and I have more that I just have not put up, just because again I am here planning on moving here soon, so hopefully I can put all these to good use and hang them up somewhere dope. But again, huge shout out to Simon for all the extras. I did not expect them. I did message them about them, see the prices of it, because I was going to try to purchase it all at once, but I figured let's just go ahead and bite the bullet on the ECU, and then I'll go ahead and do all the other stuff later on, right? Because it's just accessories. The reason why I went with that was because originally I was going to go ahead and go with an AEM Series 2 ECU, and the main reason why I went with K Pro now was because, or I decided to switch it up, was because there's a lot more support for it. Simon has been there for me, even with the K tuner helping me out. Every single time I've hit up Simon for his advice, his input, he's always been there, and it was just easier to get more support for a K Pro. Not a lot of people can mess with AEM. Even though my tuner that I plan on using, which is Armin does mess with AEM, I just don't know him on that personal level to where it's like, hey, I can always hit him up, see this and this and that, even though he is my tuner, or he is going to be my tuner. I just don't want to bother people with that. And with the K Pro, I understand it a little bit more compared to the AEM. And the AEM was beneficial. The main reason why was because it is a standalone ECU compared to an RSX stock ECU, right, with K Pro on it. This standalone ECU from AEM actually helps you monitor a lot of different sensors separately, so that way if anything were to run lean, such as fuel pressure, oil pressure, you would not blow your motor, compared to where, yes, we do run that chance with K Pro at times. The AEM will actually put you into limp mode and stop that from happening, so that way you don't blow your motor. That is mainly for bigger horsepower cars. I'm aiming for 450 to 500 horsepower, maybe max on this motor, and maybe in the future I will build a bigger motor that will handle more power. But am I going to go that far? No, I don't think I ever will. The main reason why is because, again, this car is a purpose-built car for a daily driver. Take it to shows, meets, cruise with my wife, cruise with my kids, and just have fun with it whenever the time comes. That is the purpose for this car. It's not a full-on race car or a full-on street car to where I'm going to be racing people 24/7 or whatever it is. So again, hopefully that justifies the reason why I went with K-Pro over the AEM. And now here, the time is pretty much getting closer to where I've already hit up Armin for a tune date to see when we can schedule it, and I'm just waiting back to hear back from him at this point in time. We still have a few things that we got to button up, and we'll address all that here on the next couple of videos. But pretty much, guys, that is going to wrap it up for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I know not a lot of stuff was recorded, but again, as you guys seen, AFR is pretty much connected, oil sensors connected, the new fuel pump relay is there for the lift and for the feed, so everything is secured, and we make sure we won't have any issues with any of the fuel pumps either killing us or whatever, right? Not killing us, but killing itself, because there's no other relay to it. Everything is pretty much there. All the wiring for the sunroof is there now. So now here in the next couple of days, I'm going to try very hard to get more progress done on the car, make a new throttle body gasket, or not a gasket, the cable bracket, because every single one that I've ordered is a piece of shit, and it just does not work. So I'm going to be working on that here. So with that being said, guys, please like, subscribe, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Till next time.